What's going on, metalheads and metalhead bangers worldwide? Steve Bill here from Die Hard Till Death, and I'm going to answer the questions from the DHTD Metal Mailbox, getting down and dirty with DHTD. And I'm here with my buddy Ace. This is actually my dog Ace. I've had him since he was 5 months old. He is absolutely an American Pit Bull Terrier, and he just turned 4 years old now. And he's been my best buddy, cruising all over the nation with me. He's a road metal dog. First question I got here is from Bill Downey. What's up, Bill? How you doing, brother? When and why did I start playing guitar? I love to answer this question. My father got a wedding present that was a 1958K acoustic before I was born, and it sat in the corner of the living room in the house. And when I came into this world, that guitar was in the corner of the living room when I crawled around in diapers. So I would very often get in trouble for trying to play it because I knew it made noise. So I would crawl up to it and I'd get swatted away from it, get away from that guitar. 5 years later, on my 5th birthday, my father had been trying to learn to play himself, and he had been learning from a teacher in Wisconsin. And I decided I was going to beg him to teach me something on the guitar for my birthday. So he taught me I Walk the Line from Johnny Cash, and the rest is history. 41 years later, I'm still throwing down on the guitar as hard as I possibly can and love it more than ever. And it's not really a destination. It's totally a journey into every kind of guitar playing there is. I play everything. So question number 2. This is a dandy. What do I hate most about the music industry? I know way more about the music business than I ever want to know. And a lot of close friends of mine who have been very successful have lost thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, and that's a sad thing. I hate to see great musicians get bit by someone along the way and have their careers be ruined by it. I mean, that's the one thing I hate about it, because people have such heavy passion for the music they write and play. And I feel it's just a horrible tragedy for people to stop playing because of something really bad that happened to them. So I firmly believe that debt is usually that problem. They're just backed against a wall with all the debt that's piled up from trying to get their music out there. And they somewhere along the way have to go, wait a minute, I can't do this anymore. And that's sad, because the world doesn't get the music anymore then, So just to answer that, not to be a overly negative answer. Number 3, Diane McCarthy, the first evil lady of death. Pet peeves while I'm on the road. I don't really have any pet peeves, except for if I gotta take a leak, the next available exit is definitely the best choice, because somebody might get wet. That's all I'm saying. Other than that, I really got to give the guys in the band a shout out, because I do not drive the van. I'm a horrible driver. I have horrible driving skills. I play guitar. I can't drive. And, they never complain ever once to me that they always have to do the driving. And that's a godsend to me. And I appreciate you guys. Mary Ellen Evans. Hey, Mary Ellen. Good to hear from you. How can I get you guys on the radio and played in the bars? That's a dandy question. There's been a long-term media blitz going on with the name Die Hard Till Death, and that originally it came out on blabbermouth.net 6 years ago, and it was just a side project I was trying to put together when I was in Society 1, who was one side to Earache Records. So I had some way to explore my own music, because I was playing in somebody else's band, playing all of their songs the way they wanted me to play, and I was part of somebody else's unit rather than writing my own music and putting myself out there as a player. And I think I most notably really wanted to be known for my own playing and my own, stand on my own warrant that way. So, anyways, to answer that question, there's a huge media blitz going on from Monster Agency. Everybody and their brother, everyone who's breathing, Todd is just going insane because it's a big world out there, and he's getting it out to everybody as fast as possible. And I know he's killing himself. So, love you, Todd, and appreciate all the hard work you've been doing. Right on, brother. Number 5, Deanna Mills writes into the heavy duty metal mailbox. When are you going to tour the Southeast or Southeast? And my answer to that question is, again, I don't know. And they're really weighing every single option for how we're going to tour and who we're going to tour with. And things have to make sense. They have to, we can't say, okay, we're just going to throw away 20 grand on a tour and lose 20 grand. That would be ridiculous. So we're not asking for a fortune like Kurt mentioned, but we're asking for something because we've obviously cultivated things over the years that this whole thing's been growing into the monster that it is. So we'll definitely let you know. I solemnly promise that you will know when we're coming. Number 6 is Cassandra Rice Welch. What inspires your music? I love that question as well, and that's a complicated question, and that well, first of all, I'm writing 5 full-length CDs right now, and they're all different kinds of music. And the reason for that is I'm not pissed off all the time, and I'm not sad all the time. I'm not happy all the time either. And I primarily play metal, but I've played since I was 5 years old, so I wasn't playing Pantera when I was 6 years old. I was playing Bye Bye Miss American Pie, or that style of music. So I like to kind of revisit those 70s a lot of the times and play Southern rock style stuff, and I'm a huge fan of Doom. So that being said, I'm doing all these different records that are a little bit farther away from thrash and death metal, which is part of what Die Hard Till Death is. So to answer that question is every emotion that I have comes out in the songs, and that's exactly what makes them sacred to me. I sit here alone in this room with a laptop, and I create music to a recording program in the laptop constantly. Every day I write a song. So at the end of the year, I have 365 songs to pick what I want to do for my overall projects for that year or whatever. And it might be every style. So I'm totally influenced by my life. Absolutely. Let's see here. Sorry if it looks like I'm reading off a teleprompter. I actually have the questions on a little notepad next to me on the screen here so I can read what it is you're writing in here. Susan Jones out in Wyoming. Hey, Susan, what's up? I want to mention Susan has given up her house to let us jam there a couple of times when we needed to rehearse in Wyoming before some shows out there, and we totally appreciate that, and a big shout out to all the peeps in Wyoming for sure. Susan writes in, do you guys ever get into fights or disagreements? Of course we do. I mean, being in a band is just like being married. And you're going to have ups and downs in a marriage, and you're going to have ups and downs in a band. And I'm back to when I started playing at 5 years old. You can just imagine the multitude of people I played with all over the country in 41 years. Jazz players, blues players, ska players, reggae players. I jammed with anyone who would let me. And there's a lot to be said about, learn a lot about those things. So those different genres of music kind of act differently, if that makes any sense. I think metal people are generally a little more aggressive people, and they're bulldogs when it comes down to making music too, and I'm that way. I'm not going to even deny it. This is metal, and I'm here to be metal, and I'm all about being metal. So what really comes down to is compromise and just trying to get past any issues that we have, and for us to all agree together in the beginning when we start doing things that we would get along and try to work it out and shake hands like men. Nothing more to say about it, and I think we generally do that as a band, and it's not a big conflict, really, not that way. So number 8 is you're a big animal lover and do a lot to help place and feed dogs. That's going to be kind of a lengthy answer with that one. As you can see, I got Ace right here. There's Lola and Dime just chewed up a pillow in this room. They're baby pit bulls. They're only 21 weeks old, so they're tearing the room up here all around me. It's insane. Ace, of course, knows better. He's chilling. All right, you guys, that's enough. Stop! It's really that bad. Anyways, I think that part of what had just happened right there answers that question. I'm pretty much always juggling puppies and dogs at a house that I stay in out here in upstate New York. I don't own the house. I just live here. And my primary purpose is to make sure that these dogs don't kill each other or me, and that they're acclimated from coming from the shelter, and they were going to kill them. That's the bottom line. They were going to murder every one of these dogs with taxpayer money in the ACC in Manhattan, New York, and they're only alive because Christine Langdon saved them. Go! Gotta shoot some dogs out of here because they're really tearing it up. Anyways, to make a long story short, the band is not part of the Animal Fundraiser. The Animal Fundraiser came from, I got permission from Mike Dianco on Animal Planet, the producer of Pit Bulls and Parolees, to do the first fundraiser for the Pit Bulls. And my great friends Lindsay Thompson and Starla Biaggi, who are just the closest people in the world to me, we do the show together in Dallas we're friends. We're three friends that got together to continue a tradition of helping animals in Texas. So we hope to move that around the country, and I've had some words with some people in New York and Louisiana and California to bring the show out there, and we'll see if that all comes together, and I hope it does. But yeah, love my dog. He's my whole world. All right, number 9, Reggie Melchesky. I'm not Melchesky. I'm not sure how to pronounce that, Reg. You're gonna have to forgive me if I blew it on the pronunciation. I'm gonna start out with this on my arm right here. This was designed by Reggie. It's the Die Hard Till Death logo. I realize you probably can't see it real good, but it's tattooed on my forearm. And Reggie designed that, and everywhere you see that, all over the freaking world, Reggie is there. And Reggie writes in, what do you think of what's happening in DHTD world? Did you ever think it would be like this? And this is probably my most arrogant answer of all. I'm going to be completely arrogant here. I played guitar for 41 years everywhere. And a lot of guys I know I paid 25 years worth of dues. And that's a lot of dues, and I give those guys major props and mad love. And it's not 41. And I feel like that's really an earning of success. And that if you dedicated that much of your life to something, you damn fucking straight earned that shit. So, Reggie, yes, I knew it was going to make it. I believe in myself and the music that I've written all over those 41 years. And I handpicked the things that people always told me that they loved. And I watched the expressions on their faces when I threw things out there. And I spent 10 years test marketing the actual 7 of the demo songs on the Die Hard Till Death album without vocals on them. I made a drum machine version of it in the exact arrangement that it did appear on the album eventually, with Kenny's vocals on it. And Paul's drums too, totally. I mean, the original drum tracks were these simple 4/4 time straight beats that were there for me to arrange the songs. So I would throw them out there, and I would see how many plays they would get. The song Hell is Afraid has 32,000 plays on MySpace. People don't realize this. It's been sitting there forever without vocals, and it originally appeared on a Sony release that sold all over the world. It was in 40 languages in Best Buy and Staples, and the list goes on and on and on from the distribution. It was 80 million copies of Hell is Afraid distributed 6-7 years ago. So, it's been a really long haul. So I can see what's been behind it, and that makes me confident to explain it that, yeah, I knew it was going to make it. I really did. And a lot of it had to do with Paul Marciano becoming involved, and that I'll be totally like forthright about that. Paul had played with Joey Belladonna for years all over the world, and that was intriguing to me in a lot of ways, because most of what I had done been crawling around in a gutter in a shitty bar somewhere trying to get $5 to play, not going all over the world with Joey Belladonna in that capacity. So, that added to it very, very much so. And that his experience and knowledge and his, skills as a player, he's one of the few people in the world I really felt like gave We Are the Cruel the pump. I mean, the We Are the Cruel kills. If you can play that song on drums, you have eaten your Wheaties. No doubt. I guarantee you that there's so many double kicks in there that it's going to hurt you. So, Reggie, I knew we were going to make it. And I think the guys in the band knew too, and we all believed in each other, and we believed in ourselves collectively. So that's a recipe for going places, huh? Let's see here. All right, Patrick McCarthy, the man himself, the president of the Worldwide Death Squads. He's a phenomenal dude, and big shout out to you, Evil One, and thank you for helping us out and keeping all the teams organized and running like a machine. We love it. His question is, gotta love this, cheesecake or apple pie? And I'm definitely a cheesecake guy. I'm all about it. They come in a million different flavors, and cheesecake for sure. All-time favorite guitar riff is number 11. Trying to pick one I knew was going to be tough for me. And the reason that I picked this riff is because I feel like this guy's really been influenced by his influences are people that I really admire too. So I'm going to pick Planets Collide from Crowbar, and a big, massive shout out to Kirk Winstein. I'm like the world's biggest Crowbar fan. There's absolutely no doubt about it. And that's why you see me screaming Crowbar all day long on Facebook, because I really believe in that band, and they're a huge part of influencing me. And it really wasn't so much just his ability to write killer master riffs. A lot of it had to do with what he had to say. And there, I've seen some tough times in my life, and Crowbar carried me through that one. You know what I'm saying? So, shouts out to you, and that's it. Planets Collide. Number 12, and the very last question. What was my worst moment? My worst rock and roll moment, huh? Ooh, that's a good one. I was 20 years old, and we played a gig at the Black Bear Lounge. I was in a band called Saboteur at the time, and I got so hammered at the show that I couldn't play when it was time for us to go on. It's New Year's, it's a big party. People are drinking like crazy, and I get up there to play, and I realize I'm just wasted, and there's no way I'm going to play anything. And at the time, we're doing a lot of the Iron Maiden and Judas Priest covers, and people that were at the show, there was a lot of other musicians there that knew the songs. So this guy in the front row, I decide I'm going to hand my guitar to him, and he's going to play the whole set for me while I go drinking and hanging out with the crowd. And that's exactly what happened. I gave him the guitar. He played the set with the band while I walked off the stage and went and got hammered. And first and last time I ever did that, and that was the end of that. And I don't know, I guess probably the other time was I was playing the solo for I'm Broken, and my strap broke. And I just think that's really ironic to be playing I'm Broken and have your strap break during the solo. And I had to sit down like a little kid on the drum riser, and the drum riser wasn't very tall. It was probably like 2 feet tall, so I looked like this little kid sitting on the curb playing the Dimebag solo for I'm Broken. And rest in peace, Dime. Every time I think of that moment in my own life, I think about what great person Dime was. And just to throw that into the interview, I mean, we all have to say that Pantera was a huge influence on us, because playing Cowboys from Hell was like huge change in me as a player, especially metal. So that being said, we'll take that out as the last rock and roll moment, and hopefully I didn't bore you all to freaking tears with this interview, and try to do the best I could, and let you know when I'm thinking straight up. And that's usually the case of me. And just want to let everybody know, I'll be on Facebook, and give me a shout out, and you know, all metal, all the time. Peace.